Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and it's time for part 2 of the Perfect Grade Gundam 00 Riser review. And I thought we'd switch it up a little bit, so in part 2 I'm going to go ahead and do the 00 Riser's inner frame. Or rather, the Gundam 00's inner frame. I'll get to the O Riser's inner frame when we get to the O Riser, which will be in another part. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and do articulation in this video as well. So, first off, I've completely painted this kit, but the colors you get out of the box are going to be pretty similar because the entire inner frame is molded in black plastic. I've just gone over it in a nice silver black kind of metallic mix, and then added some little gold accents like here on the shoulders and some of these little thingies on the legs and just little things. And then also you're going to have some clear green for these little orbs that are all over the 00 Riser. And one thing that I would like to point out is that for those of you who have built the Master Grade Exia, you'll remember the little clear holographic strips that were all over it. And I didn't expect the 00 Riser to have those, but they're all on the inner frame. You can't see any of them from the outside of the kit, but they are absolutely everywhere. There's one, there's another one, there's one in the arm, there's 4 just in each upper arm, on top of the head there. I mean, there's at least 20 or 25 of those things on the entire inner frame. So yeah, they're everywhere. And see what else. Also, this clear red piece right here is just going to be clear when you get it out of the box. I went ahead and painted it with clear red just to actually I was trying to get rid of that green light that was coming out from behind it when you turn the lights on, but some people say that green light's supposed to be there. I agree because I remember it in the show, but it just looks awkward having a green light coming from under a red jewel. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get on to articulation. And you know what? I think I'm going to split this model kit in half to do this, just so I can get everything in the camera frame better. Alright, bring the camera down, and here we go. Actually, I'm going to take the backpack off as well. Let's go ahead and do the backpack first. So it's pretty much just like the backpack on the high grade and 1 to 100 scale no grade 00 Riser. Articulation is basically the same. There's no articulation here, except there's going to be a little door here that opens up to connect to the O Riser. But you've got a hinge right here that can go back and forward, and it can rotate 360. It's a very, very tight connection, which is good because you're going to have the O Riser's little pod thingy sitting on here. See, the GN drive part itself swings. It could go 360, but obviously the backpack's in the way, so it can go forward and back. And then you've got a little ratcheting joint at the end here, so it'll go up and down, but it's very, very tight, again, to compensate for the increased weight of the 00 Riser. And I think that's about it for articulation. Oh, the thrusters here are on ball joints, so they can wiggle around. Now, onto the torso. The head has actually got a triple jointed neck. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a triple joint neck. Let's see, there's a joint up inside the head at the top of the neck that lets the head go side to side. There's a ball joint in there that lets the head go forward and back a little, side to side a little, and rotate 360. And then there's a hinge joint at the base of the neck that lets the head go forward and back. So you've got a very, very wide range of motion with this guy's head. The thrusters can come out and back in. This little not really the cockpit hatch, but just this little chest piece can wiggle up and down slightly, just for a little added mobility. The whole torso is actually got a very interesting design. Underneath some of these black armor panels, there's a ring that is in there that provides the structure for all the head and the lower torso and the arms, and they're all connected to it. And what happens is everything just slides on that ring. See, the lower torso can slide back and forth along that ring, as well as going, get the arm out of the way, forward and back. And then of course you've got a large peg for a swivel joint at the hip. The shoulders are also on that ring, and they're a little bit harder to move, but they can move. It's just, I don't know. I think this ring was a good idea, but it's really, really tight. And it's not just because of my paint job. It was like this before I even painted it. And ideally they're supposed to be able to go up, and then I don't know. I think it was a good idea, but the execution could have been a little bit better. Anyway, there's a joint here at the shoulder, lets it go out. Shoulder armor can come up, and we reach the first of the locking joint mechanisms. Here is the shoulder and the elbow. They both have the locking mechanism. Bandai apparently thought it was a good idea since the double riser is going to be such a large and heavy kit. The shoulders work fine. All you have to do is press in the center here, and then the arm can come out. And when it's not pressed, the arm doesn't go anywhere because it locks in place. So the shoulder one works fine. There's another one at the knees that works fine. But this one on the elbow I find is incredibly difficult to get to move. The elbow is double jointed. There's a joint down here at the bottom of the elbow that moves perfectly fine. But when you press in the joint, first of all, it barely goes in at all. And you really, I reached my first complaint about this kit is that these elbow joints are incredibly difficult to get to move. I mean, the only way I can really get them to move is to take this clear green bubble off and then press it like that, and it'll finally, oh, see, there it goes. Oh, and look at that little green bubble popped out slightly. And then it'll finally move, and you can get a full 180. So yeah, again, I don't even think the locking mechanism is really necessary because, I mean, the GN Sword 3 isn't that heavy. Anyway, oh, I forgot you've also got another locking mechanism here at the wrist. It works fine though. Same thing, you just press in the little bubble and the wrist can bend upwards. The hands are pretty standard perfect grade hands, although they aren't pre-molded. You actually have to assemble these yourself. They've got a joint at the wrist which lets them go forward and back. They can rotate, but they don't wiggle. This isn't a ball joint, it's just a peg. Ball joint thumb can bend at the thumb. Each finger is on a ball joint, and each segment of the finger is posable. So you can get pretty much any pose you want to out of the hands. And onto the legs. Let's try and make this quick. It's taking longer than I thought it would. I might have to split this into two parts. Anyway, the front skirts are actually on like a little double joint, a little rubber polycap thing here that makes them go forward and back, and they tend to pop off, although if you've got all the armor on, the white pieces and the red parts, it's not going to fall off. So it only falls off when it's in the bare inner frame like this. Also, this whole front piece can go up and down and rotate slightly. Side skirts can move up and down and rotate as well. Also, there's a extra ball joint that connects back here. That's going to let the side skirts move up and down like so. and they won't go back in. I think this is going to have to be a two-part review of articulation. I think that's the first time this has ever happened. This thing's kind of hard to get back in once... There we go. Let's see, the back skirts, they can rotate as a whole, and then each individual... Let me just take this off. Each individual back skirt can come unhinged and just kind of move on its own, like so. And let's just go ahead and end this here, because I'm obviously not going to have time to do the legs. So this review will end up being one part longer than I intended it. So come back and we'll finish going over articulation.